So Fairy Tail right now at this particular point is a combination of both good and bad content, ultimately resulting in what I would like to call missed opportunities. Last two chapters we saw Eileen take over Wendy's body, which ultimately could have resulted in her maybe taking it, doing something else with it. Wendy could have had a struggle or resulted in staying Eileen's body like she did last chapter, but for a further period of time, and pushing that towards in a different direction rather than just a one chapter, one go, switcheroo back into original bodies kind of deal. It could have went somewhere completely different. The actual fight between Wendy, Erza versus Eileen could have went completely different. Eileen could have mopped the floor with them, taking away that Erza invincible power struggle, or her invincibility, her freaking plot armor. It could have completely wiped that off the slate, bringing Eileen resulting in the badass as she is. So the reversal body, which Wendy and Eileen switched back into original bodies, resulted in Erza versus Eileen one-on-one now. So how does that go? It's pretty much looked like it could have been a one-sided duel again. Eileen versus Erza. Pretty much Eileen mopping the floor with Erza. I mean, Eileen even boasted she has 400 years worth of magic against Erza. And right now that could have been the deciding point right there. Erza, I mean, she's taken on powerful enemies in the past. But Eileen, the first Dragon Slayer of all things, is the one that's pretty much getting beat up by Erza. And that's really kind of messing with the flow and the actual feel of conflict and the urgeness of this battle. Now we see these two characters pretty much compare each other's past to each other from what happened to them before, prior to these events. I mean, of course, Eileen was pretty much ostracized and pretty much outcasted, beaten as a dragon slayer who obviously people thought would turn into a dragon, which she did, but pretty much that fact that she remained human and still had human intentions. Erza pretty much being dumped from her, I mean, in her village. She didn't have any care for her because she couldn't transfer into her body. And ultimately resulted in the Tower of Heaven, with the whole Jalal deal. These two pretty much had some pretty much messed up paths going on for them. Obviously, Eileen's kind of a little bit more tragic, but at the same time, you think Erza's might be. It's anyone's up for decision, but obviously each one. Erza obviously admits that Eileen is a more tragic past, so we can go with that. Tragic backstory or not, Eileen obviously has the upper hand, but unfortunately for the writing of Hiro Mashima, he does not want to express that fully and explore the amount of possibilities that the story could provide for us. I mean, Eileen, for all we know, could pretty much take out the entirety of Fairy Tail Guild as we know. I mean, they had a struggle between Acnologia. Obviously, Eileen should be a major struggle for them. So where am I going with this? Erza pretty much tackled Eileen head on, and Eileen showed the power of a dragon. One swipe pretty much knocked the shit out of Erza, broke every bone in her body, except obviously the one furthest from her, which was her right hand, her main hand, her go-getter, her main sword-wielding hand. Now, this was pretty sweet. We saw the power of a dragon, but it was kind of wasted because Erza is pretty much obviously just kind of getting in her head, pretty much mixing her emotions together again, and pretty much putting Eileen again in another back herself into another corner, but a little more mental this time, and pretty much Eileen just got pissed off and turned into a dragon for her. Now obviously that was pretty sweet, that was awesome. I've always wondering, a lot of people wondering, could Eileen possibly turn back into a dragon the way Acnologia can go back into human dragon form back and forth again? It's confirmed now for the most part, and that is amazing. But how it was done, how Erza just pretty much provoked her into doing it just because she was bringing her back herself into a corner. Again, that was the only kind of problem with it that I had with her turning into a dragon. Now, Erza, this next part where Erza is flying towards a meteorite, because Eileen stated that her enchanting powers are pretty much tenfolded when she's in her dragon state mode. So she could pretty much inflict any sort of pain, any amount of damage, any sort of boost to herself, her comrades, anybody within her dragon state form, and they would pretty much be nearly invincible depending on who she chooses. And right there, she pretty much, with that enchanting, goes out into space and uses that to bring down a meteorite, which will pretty much annihilate, I'm guessing, closest proximity from Erza, which is pretty much the entire battlefield of Fiore. So everyone caught within that blast, I'm guessing, except Eileen and maybe, if she has any compassion, her comrades. But I don't see that happening because Erza looks like she's going to be Erza right now. And what I mean by that is pretty much using the power of friendship, like she always does, to overcome any and all obstacles within her paths. And that is really, really irritating at this point. Now don't get me wrong, I love Fairy Tail. I love the hell out of it. It is my current favorite anime manga series of all time. And why I rip on it is just because I'm reviewing it and I have to look into a critical analysis of it, see what's good, see what's bad, nitpick at it, and if I like something, I like it. And if I see something that doesn't add up, I'm gonna mess with it. I'm gonna talk about it. Now, on the other hand, as I'm reading it, I'm just like, dude, this is cool, this is cool. Oh man, she's gonna do something crazy, she's gonna do something epic. But that epicness comes at a price, and that price is good storytelling. Because right now, if Erza does manage to take out this meteorite in one hit, then that just proves that Hiramashima just likes to use his OP characters and make them OP as fuck. Because like I said, missed opportunity. There could be so many different things going on right here. Eileen's a dragon. We can bring back the Dragon Slayer somehow. Have them heal up somehow, or have them some sort of recovery, fast recovery, even if it sounds like bullshit. If they could all come together and face a dragon. We all know they couldn't take one dragon down alone, 1v1, so a bunch of Dragon Slayers fighting one dragon, something could happen right there. Something amazing could happen, even though Eileen's 400 years old, against 7 Dragon Slayers. That would be amazing to see. That would be a battle to see right here in Alvarez Empire. But right now, the main focus, like I said, is just with Erza versus Eileen. Erza taking on a comet, which more than likely will take a one-hit, one-kill because she has the power of Fairy Tail and power of family and friendship. Next week, I may eat my words. Who knows? Erza might not be able to take on the entirety of the comet, or maybe pretty much be obliterated, which obviously is not going to happen because this is Fairy Tail, everybody, and nobody dies. But, like I said, I could eat my words next week. But for now, this chapter really sitting at me. Eileen turning into a dragon. The initial fight between these two at the beginning of the chapter. Awesome. The reason why she became a dragon, and Erza pretty much fighting a comet with only one hand. Ugh. Right now, honestly, I gotta give this chapter... I was gonna say 6, but I'll be nice because of the dragonizing. 6.5. Fairy Tail chapter 5:18, I think this is 6.5. Last week's chapter, I would give it a solid 7 for the most part. I mean, it was still good, but I forgot to give it its rating last chapter. But yeah, this chapter, 6.5. Lost potential, wasted potential, just to prove that Erza is OP as fuck and that she is Erza. Because she is Erza, she can do anything. But anyway, that's all I got for this one. Thanks for watching, and this is Niger Asakura signing out. Later.